What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I just want to kind of go over some of my thoughts on the Browns before we play against them. I've watched quite a bit of film on them already, and I just want to kind of go over my thoughts on what their threats are, what we can do to beat them, and stuff like that. Starting off with their offense, obviously the big threat to them is their ability to run the football. Nick Chubb is a top 5 running back in this game easily. Some people would say he's number 1. I'm not quite there yet, but he is a very, very talented guy. Can absolutely run all over you if you let him get any kind of momentum at all. Kareem Hunt is a fantastic number 2 guy. D'Ernest Johnson is a solid backup. Demetric Felton's a solid player who can play running back and receiver for you. So running the football is definitely their best bet. And Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback. He can scramble a little bit for you too. Definitely not the threat to run the ball like Justin Fields, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson, because we've beaten all 3 of those dudes this year. But he can scramble. But luckily the Dolphins do typically play well against the run. Running quarterbacks seem to give us problems. All 3 of those guys I just mentioned that we beat did have had a lot of success running on us. But as far as running backs go, we usually play pretty well against them. So I think we will continue to do so. We're just going to have to be a little bit more physical. Our defense has been struggling in the passing game, though. Especially like getting off the field on like third downs and stuff. And Jacoby Brissett does have a pretty big arm. He is prone to making some bad decisions if you let him. And hopefully we can get some turnovers out of this guy. Amari Cooper is still one of the top receivers in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. He's a very dangerous guy. Donovan Peoples-Jones is a pretty solid number 2. Nothing crazy there. David Njoku is a really good tight end, but he's probably not going to play. It looks like he's going to be out with an injury. And after those 3, the receiving stats really jump off a cliff. Those are really the guys that they throw to a lot. And besides that, they really rely on running the football a lot. So that's really where the threat is. Amari Cooper is definitely a real serious threat. And Jacoby Brissett is a good enough quarterback to get the ball to him in a good spot. They have a really good offensive line as well in pass protection and run blocking. We are going to have to get physical, and the main priority has to be slowing down the run game. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are going to get plays on us. It's going to happen. They're very good players. But we cannot let them get on a roll, and we need to hold them down as best we can. And Amari Cooper is going to get his. He's one of the best route runners in the NFL, even still. But I still think I think this is an offense that we can deal with decently. Like I said, running quarterbacks have really given us a lot of issues, but Jacoby Brissett, who can scramble, isn't really like Justin Fields and people like that. But he is still enough of a threat, and we have been giving up a lot of passing yards and stuff like that, so we do need to do better there. As far as their defense goes, obviously Myles Garrett is the first guy you look at. He's one of the better defensive linemen in football. They will move him around a little bit, but for the most part, he's predictable as far as where he'll line up. But he is a serious talent. But I think we can deal with him, to be honest with you. We get rid of the football very, very quickly. So him and Jadeveon Clowney, who's not what he once was, but he's still a solid player. I do think that we can have some success against them. Their linebacking core is pretty solid. JOK is probably going to be out, but Deion Jones is still there. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Greedy Williams, Martin Emerson, really good corners. Their best traits on their defense is their pass defense. Myles Garrett, even if he doesn't get sacks, he tends to get a lot of pressures. And they have really good corners on the back end. But I do think that Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, I think we'll be fine. I mean, we got Cedric Wilson, we got Trent Sherfield. I think we'll be fine. And Tua's been putting the ball in really, really good spots. So I think we will have some passing success. And the Browns are absolutely a defense that you can run against. And I want to make that a priority. Between the 2 of them, between both of our running backs, I would like to get at least 25 carries. between Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert. I would like, between the two of them combined, I want at least 25 carries. Because this is definitely a defense that you can run against. And Myles Garrett is a very good defender, but if you do it right, you can run right at that guy. You absolutely can. You don't always have to run away from him. I would in most cases. I'd rather run right at JOK. I mean, not JOK, but Jadeveon Clowney. But you can run right at Myles Garrett if you need to. And you can run up the middle, too. So I really want to make that a point of emphasis, is to run the football efficiently and often. But I still want to throw the ball, because that is our identity, is throwing the football. So I do want to continue to do that. I want to throw it downfield against these guys still too, but I want to open it up with those big run plays, because I do think we can do that against them. Overall, I also want to see our penalties continue to decrease. It was better. That game against the Lions was atrocious. It did look a little bit better against the Bears, and I want it to continue to get better. I think if we do those things, I think we'll be okay. Like I said, the big things is I want to run the football offensively, and I want to do everything we can to slow their run game down. I think if we do those things, I think we'll be fine. I really do. This is a team that we should beat. We are a more talented roster than them. But it is any given Sunday, and they definitely have enough threats to be dangerous. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, even though he's not what he once was. Deion Jones is solid. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Grant Delpit, Greedy Williams, Martin Emerson. Like that, they got guys. Donovan Peoples-Jones. They got guys to be a real dangerous team. But we should beat them. So. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you'd like to, appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.